Hey everybody, Juan here, and today I just wanted to show off a little experiment that I'm working on with my Android home screens. So about a year ago, especially on TouchWiz devices, I forced myself to whittle down the number of home screens that I was using from 7 to 5. So on the 5 home screens that I typically use, I'll have a couple apps down here at the bottom in the dock. I almost always have fast access to Facebook, to Google+, to Twitter. This is the Plume app. It's my favorite Twitter app. Maps, and then I always have to have a camera icon on the home screen because Android devices don't have dedicated camera buttons anymore. Now, in the interest of fast access to the people that I contact most, I almost always try and keep shortcuts to friends and family, and then a Google Voice widget, because almost everything now comes through Google Voice. Just one swipe to the side. In the other direction, this is all music. So Pandora, my Google Music account, and TuneIn Radio, where I listen to KCRW, and I can't recommend KCRW highly enough. Sliding one more over, this is a calendar widget, and this is just a simple agenda widget. I find the more information I get in a calendar widget, again, the less likely I am to actually absorb that information and use it. And then 2 over to the right are just shortcuts to apps that I use a lot. File management, I'm constantly looking up stuff on IMDb, Dropbox, Ambox, where I've got over 100 gigs of online storage, cloud storage, my Drive account, my Starbucks app. I'm embarrassed to say that I actually use that quite a bit. And as you can see, with 5 home screens, I only have 3 one-by-one areas left to put more widgets or shortcuts on my screen. That's pretty dense. That's fully packed. And this is after simplifying from the 7 home screens that I used to run. So when I got the Galaxy Note 2, I really wanted to see how much of this functionality I could retain, but I wanted to utterly gut the amount of information on the screen. Just totally simplify how much stuff was on my home screens, and to further the challenge, to see if I could whittle back my home screen usage from 5 to 3. With a combination of the Nova launcher and the minimalistic text widget creator, I don't know what you call that, but you make widgets with just text. This is now what I'm rocking on the Galaxy Note 2. Just turning the device on, you can see whether or not you have notifications. And that's going to be important in just a little bit. So now this is my 3-page layout, and I don't let it continuously page because I only want to be able to go 1 to the right and 1 to the left. On my new home screen, we have time, date, temperature, and then again, fast access to Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus and Google Maps. Paging 1 to the left, fast access to the apps that I honestly used the most. Unfortunately, I still need to keep a camera shortcut because Android devices don't have dedicated camera buttons. But this gets me into Gmail, opens up a web browser. I use the AOSP web browser, my picture gallery, and my files. And going through my usage outside of gaming, those were the apps that I really did use the most. Now going 1 to the right from the center home screen, Google Voice, I don't have the widget on there anymore. I do now need to tap Google Voice to open it up and see what kind of messages that I've gotten. This is a shortcut to get to my contacts, a shortcut to get to the phone, and then all of the same commonly communicated with people, my favorite contacts essentially, my top 8. Now, as you may have noticed, there is no shortcut to get into my app drawer. So to get into my app drawer, thanks to Nova Launcher, we're now using gestures. And this is one of my favorite things about handing my Galaxy Note 2 off to other people, is they just don't know how to use it. This is a device that is custom tailored for me. So to get into my app drawer, now it's just a simple swipe up. Home key brings us back. And I love that, just slides right into my insane collection of apps. I realized that the main time that I was actually checking my notifications wasn't any time I would go back to the home screen. It would be to turn the device on, go to my lock screen, and see what notifications I had from there. Just in the interest of keeping this as clean and as stark as possible, now, if I need to, I can swipe down to toggle the notification tray. I can swipe down again to get rid of it. But I really don't do it that often. It's far more likely that I'll pull this down while I'm in some other app. And the Nova Launcher doesn't remove the notification tray from all apps that you interact with. And one of my favorite things about minimalistic text, and I can't recommend this app widget creator enough if you're looking for something a little clean, a little modern, is you can also build in additional functionality on tap. So all of these time, date, they all update via text, and I love that minimalistic text is smart enough to go 1058 as opposed to 1058. It's just a pretty trick. But tapping on it, now brings up my alarm clock and stopwatch, just like any other Android clock widget might. Tapping on the date brings up my calendar so that I can go through and I can show you all of the things that I have to do. So it's very much the same functionality I had with the stock widgets built into TouchWiz. You know, if I want to see the weather, I tap on the weather and it pulls up the weather. If I want to see the weather, I tap on the weather, it brings up the weather. And lastly, Samsung has tweaked Jelly Bean just a little bit, and one of my least favorite tweaks of TouchWiz is that you don't have the slide up to get to Google Now functionality, and if you double tap the home screen, you get Samsung S Voice. I don't love that. I would prefer that there was a fast, direct shortcut to Google Now, and the closest you'll get on a Samsung device is a long press on the menu key, and it brings up Google Now, and it brings up Google Now for a search. So thanks to the Nova launcher, while I don't have a swipe up functionality like on a Nexus device, it does allow me to do a double tap. So on any of my home screens, a quick double tap brings up Google Now and it's ready to voice search. So I still have a little tweaking to do. I'm debating whether or not I want to put a battery widget on one of my home screens. I'm still going through what apps I use the most to see if there's any other functionality I might be missing, like if I want to put a music widget or something like that on one of these screens. I like that Android actually has given me the customization power to make something wholly unique yet still familiar, and it is kind of fun putting this in other people's hands to watch them react, because there's something also kind of audacious about taking a Galaxy Note 2 and making it as stark as possible. Like, you've got all this beautiful screen real estate to use, and I'm just using bare text widgets. It's just kind of fun. It's kind of neat to gauge people's reactions. So guys, drop me some comments down below. Shoot me some video replies. I want to see how you're using the customization power of Android to tailor your devices to make them your own. I want to see your home screens. I want to see what kind of widgets you're using. Drop me some comments below. I'm really curious to see how you guys are also engaging with Android. And guys, I'll catch you on the next video.